In the world of high-stakes gambling, where fortunes can change in an instant, one man's story stands out. A tale of cunning, strategy, and sheer audacity. This is the story of the man who outsmarted global gambling, a figure who navigated the treacherous waters of casinos and card games, leaving a trail of bewildered professionals in his wake. Prepare to dive into a world where intelligence meets chance, where every decision could mean the difference between millions. Our protagonist is not just a player, he's a master strategist, a man who turned the odds in his favor. But who is he? And how did he manage to outsmart some of the most sophisticated gambling establishments in the world? Our story begins in a small town, far from the glitzy lights of Las Vegas. Meet Tommy Lucero, an unassuming young man with a penchant for cards. Raised in a family of modest means, Tommy quickly realized that the deck could be stacked in his favor with the right strategy. From a young age, Tommy was captivated by the mathematics of probability and the psychology behind gambling. He spent countless hours poring over books about card counting and game theory, honing his skills. Every poker game with friends became a lesson. Every victory, a stepping stone toward a bigger dream. He learned to read not just the cards, but the people around him. He absorbed everything, the subtle shifts in body language, the glint in someone's eye when they held a good hand, and the telltale signs of a bluff. This fascination would set the stage for a career that would soon eclipse his small-town roots. With a small bankroll and big dreams, Tommy packed his bags and headed for Las Vegas, the mecca of gambling. Little did he know, his journey would lead him to become a legend in the gambling community, a name whispered among the elite. Arriving in Las Vegas, Tommy quickly realized the magnitude of the challenge ahead. He was just another face in a sea of gamblers, but he wasn't here to play. He was here to win. Tommy's approach was different from the average gambler. He meticulously observed his opponents, studying their habits and tendencies. With every hand he played, he collected data, not just on the cards, but on the players. He understood that gambling was as much about reading people as it was about luck. What Tommy did was revolutionary. He treated gambling like a science. While others relied on luck, he relied on strategy. He knew the odds inside and out, but more importantly, he knew how to manipulate the game to his advantage. In a place filled with distractions and temptations, Tommy stood out, not just for his wins, but for his unwavering focus. His nights were spent in smoky back rooms and bustling poker tables, honing his craft, learning from both victories and defeats. He absorbed every lesson, every defeat, and turned them into stepping stones. And as he began to string together wins, whispers of his prowess began to spread through the gambling underworld. High rollers and casual gamblers alike were left in awe as Tommy racked up winnings that turned heads. But with great success comes great scrutiny. As Tommy refined his skills, he developed a unique strategy, one that combined classic card counting with an understanding of human behavior. He became an expert at reading tells, those subtle cues that revealed when a player was bluffing or holding a strong hand. But his brilliance didn't stop there. Tommy began to notice patterns in the casino's betting habits. He realized that the house often made predictable moves, giving him an edge. He began to exploit these patterns, and soon he was not just winning, he was dominating. At one point, he achieved a remarkable winning streak that drew the attention of seasoned gamblers and casino owners alike. His confidence soared as he racked up chips, turning what was once a modest bankroll into a small fortune. But as Tommy reveled in his success, he remained acutely aware of the precariousness of his position. He understood that in the world of gambling, the highs could quickly lead to devastating lows. His every victory painted a target on his back, and the stakes were only getting higher. As his reputation grew, so did the attention from casino security. They started to take notice of the young man consistently winning at the tables. The surveillance teams began watching him closely, documenting his every move, and soon the whispers turned into alarms. One fateful night, while Tommy was in the middle of a high-stakes game, security swooped in. With cameras rolling, they accused him of cheating, a claim that threatened to end his career before it had even begun. The accusations were baseless, yet they carried a weight that could crush any player. Tommy felt the walls closing in, but instead of panicking, he leaned on the training and instincts he had developed. He was prepared for this moment. With the help of his team, Tommy crafted a strategy that would stun even the most seasoned security team. They had meticulously recorded their games and movements, creating a dossier that proved their innocence. It was a high-stakes game of chess, and he was determined to emerge victorious. In the face of adversity, Tommy became a master of improvisation. He knew that to survive, he had to turn the tables on his accusers. He played the victim, presenting his evidence with a charisma that disarmed the casino security team. Tommy understood that he couldn't do this alone. He formed a secret alliance with a small group of like-minded gamblers, each with their own unique skills. He pooled their resources and shared insights, developing a collective intelligence that took their game to the next level. This wasn't just about playing cards, it was a full-blown operation. They met in hidden locations, away from prying eyes, where they could share tactics and discuss their latest observations. They analyzed the casino's layouts, identifying blind spots in security and planning their next moves meticulously. With this newfound strategy, they became an unstoppable force, winning game after game, leaving casinos reeling in their wake. Their communication skills became their greatest asset. Subtle gestures and coded phrases allowed them to execute complex strategies without drawing suspicion. But with every victory, the stakes grew higher, and the risks became greater. The thrill of victory was intoxicating, but so was the danger that lurked around every corner. The adrenaline rush was addictive, but it was a double-edged sword that could easily lead to a downfall. Just as Tommy and his team seemed invincible, the casino struck back. A network of surveillance systems and intelligence began to zero in on them. The casinos hired private investigators, determined to uncover the truth behind their winning streak. Slowly, the noose tightened. One by one, team members were approached, questioned, and ultimately expelled from the casinos. It became clear that they were being watched and their every move was being monitored. Tommy faced an impossible decision: to continue fighting against the odds or to retreat and regroup. He knew that if they were caught, the consequences could be severe, not just for him, but for everyone involved. But Tommy refused to go down without a fight. He devised a plan to throw off their pursuers. He and his remaining team members decided to split up, using their unique strengths to keep the casinos guessing. In a game of cat and mouse, Tommy became a master of disguise, playing under different aliases and at various casinos. The thrill of the chase pushed him to new heights, but with every victory, the risk grew. After a period of intense pressure, Tommy found clarity. He realized that the key to winning was not just in playing the game, but in mastering the art of deception. He honed his skills further, embracing the strategies he had once overlooked. Determined to rebuild, Tommy began mentoring a new generation of gamblers. He became a source of inspiration, sharing his insights on strategy and the psychology of gambling. He emphasized that true success came not from luck, but from understanding the game at its core. His approach resonated deeply, fostering a community of thinkers and strategists who thrived on intelligence rather than chance. Tommy had transformed from a player into a leader, guiding others through the complexities of the gambling world. With his guidance, a new wave of gamblers began to rise, challenging the old guard and reshaping the landscape of gambling. Tommy's legacy was solidified, not just through his winnings, but through the impact he had on the community. As time passed, Tommy's reputation as a strategist grew. He became a household name in the gambling community, revered for his innovative tactics and willingness to share his knowledge. No longer just a player, he had become a pioneer. Even as he basked in the glory of his accomplishments, Tommy remained humble. He often reflected on his journey, acknowledging that the thrill of the game was never just about the money. It was about the challenge, the strategy, and the thrill of outsmarting the odds. Tommy Lucero didn't just outsmart global gambling, he redefined what it meant to be a gambler. His journey is a testament to the power of strategy, intelligence, and the unyielding spirit of a true competitor. In a world where the house always has the advantage, Tommy's story reminds us that with the right strategy, anyone can challenge the odds and come out on top. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of high-stakes gambling. If you enjoyed this tale of intrigue and strategy, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that will leave you on the edge of your seat.